Good morning, KU, and welcome back to Good Morning KU. I'm Blake Ullman.
And I'm Tyler Bermuda.
And today we're recapping the group's Thanksgiving breaks. We've got some casual banter about the weather ahead as well.
Of course, I'm from Cali, so stay tuned for that.
Yeah, exactly. But what were you up to over Thanksgiving break?
So I actually spent my Thanksgiving break. My mom hosted for her 21st year.
Okay.
In a row, and we had family from San Diego come down. We had family kind of just locally, and yeah, it was. It's 21 people, or I think it was 23 people, but I think 10 of them are from one location, so that's a big caravan. And it was great. Went golfing a couple times over the break, and saw a couple friends. How about yourself?
Yeah, my Thanksgiving was pretty good. Had a full weekend of festivities, hung out with my girlfriend on Wednesday, and then obviously Thanksgiving dinner, great food as always. Got to be some of the best holiday food out there.
I agree. What's your favorite Thanksgiving dish?
Either mashed potatoes and gravy or ham.
Okay.
It's got to be one of those two. But yeah, so kind of to catch up on the rest of the staff, we start off with Annie, one of the many people on this show, hanging out with her grandmother and sisters. Caleb actually took a picture of his Christmas tree.
That's all we got? That's all we got for Caleb?
Yeah, definitely the time of the year that people are starting to get those Christmas trees up. I know I put mine up sometime here in the next week or two, and then I'll take it down sometime probably before spring break, but you never know.
Spring break. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's it.
I procrastinate.
Okay, good for you.
Looks like not a lot of traffic here for Gianna coming back home. I think she went to Denver, so you can kind of see the mountains off there in the distance. I love Colorado, and the mountain views are always fantastic.
Yeah, Colorado's a beautiful, beautiful state.
Yes. Grace, our technical director, went to Denver and
No, she went to the Chiefs game.
She went to the Chiefs game. I'm sorry, we were talking about Denver just now. But definitely for Chiefs fans, a great game to be going to. So that's always exciting to hang out in Kansas City. It looks like for Kaya, a nice Thanksgiving spread pre-dinner.
Hope that's pre-dinner.
Yeah. Charcuterie board action there. Love to see it.
And then next up is Federico, who is in Chicago for the weekend, and he's not here today, unfortunately. And then we have Cade, and Cade just sent us a picture of his Thanksgiving. That's all I got for Cade, but he had looks like a good amount of family, a lot of food, and looked like it was a great time to be a part of.
Yeah.
Katie, and from her, she said this is like the most famous deep dish pizza shop in Chicago. I'm from California and did not know that. So next we have Laura, and Laura hosted her Thanksgiving, and she is shown here with her cousin. Next up we have Orly, and Orly looks like she had a lot of fun at the Michigan game. Unfortunately, she could not be here today. She was sick. And last up is Hayden, and Hayden spent his Thanksgiving in Lawrence, where it snowed. Yeah. Speaking of snow, yes. So like I said, I'm from California, and this is the first time I've ever seen snow just walking around anywhere. My flight was 70 degrees when I took off, and then when I got here, it was around 30.
Yeah.
And I even this morning, right? I go to the gym, and before I leave, there's just a mountain of snow on my car, and I'm like banging the squeegee on the on the windshield trying to get the snow off. I even drove. I had about maybe like a 4-inch pocket of vision, and then I stuck my head out the window and drove the 5-minute drive. There was a right turn I had to make, and if there was someone there, I would have ran over them because I didn't see him. But the whole snow aspect, I know it's only going to get colder. Yeah. How can you deal with weather, I guess, that comes down to the single digits or even the negatives?
Yeah, I mean, being from Kansas, just the whole fact that you've never seen snow before is wild to me. But I think we've all been there when it comes to not scraping our cars enough and driving incredibly dangerously on the way to morning activities.
And do you have to like start the car beforehand, or like what's the?
I mean, for me personally, as a Kansas native and expert on this, I always just start my car, turn on the defrost, go and scrape my side windows, and then get the front real quick after it's already kind of softened up from the defrost. But, you know, there's no tried and true way. It does really help to have an ice scraper. I've definitely had the days where you have to use a like debit card or student ID, and that's not something I would recommend. But to stay warm, layers are always your friend.
Yeah, that's true too. I bought my first winter coat. It was great, and then even I guess for my car on the drive home, like, does the snow melt? If like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, hopefully, or else I'll have another very dangerous drive home. But
yeah. Usually it melts once the sun comes out. But I did see that it snowed more this weekend in Lawrence than it did all of last winter. It was like 7 inches here.
Wow.
And it was only like 6 all of last winter combined. So
No, it's
that's
definitely something new. Now over Thanksgiving, did you catch any of the KU games?
I did. There were some great results, and specifically the Marquette game. That was kind of disappointing, but you know, early in the
Marquette
season,
played well. Marquette played really well. It was a good tournament, and I'm actually excited, you know, for the future. We do play UConn this Friday, which would be
That'll be
absolute
good.
blast of a game.
Yeah.
And then our KU football team won, which was
Won
awesome
again.
as well. We're qualified for a bowl. We'll see where we end up there. And then our volleyball team too. But real quick, we do have the interception from Kobe Bryant, which was just beautiful.
An incredible grab.
I even heard the announcer went dun-dun-dun. It should be on SportsCenter. I haven't tuned into that.
I think I
but
saw.
that catch was absolutely incredible. One-handed.
I think I saw that this was the number 2 play on the SportsCenter top 10 plays, but
As it
he
should be.
earned honors, I think, on the NCAA Defensive Team of the Week. Jason Bean did as well.
Bean had a great game too. I think he had 4 or 5 total touchdowns.
He had 4, I think.
Yeah,
I think it was
two
2
on the
passing,
ground.
2 rushing. But his rushing touchdowns, he just torched some people.
I know, he's one of the fastest players in the league, and that's impressive for a quarterback
Yeah.
too. And then our volleyball team's hosting their tournament.
Yes.
I mean, they've had a great run. It's not talked about enough, but we're ranked somewhere in the top 15, and we're
Yeah.
the 4 seed for the tournament. So
Yeah.
that's pretty great going ahead.
And the NCAA tournament's coming to Horsch Family Volleyball Arena. So definitely should make campus a buzz with all the excitement.
Well, think about it too. Thursday we have the volleyball game, and then we have the women's basketball game, then the volleyball game, and then Friday we have the volleyball game, then the men's basketball game. So it should be a very action-packed weekend over there.
Yeah, definitely. And then that's all leading up to, I mean, I guess we'll find out when the bowl game exactly is and where we're playing, but I haven't read up on the speculation.
No,
for
but
that.
it's a good time to be a KU sports fan, I will say. But
Yeah.
that's basically all the time we have for you. Stay tuned, and we'll have the news and sports.
From adversity, we rose. We made history and became pioneers, voyagers, champions, Jayhawks. And when our chant rises, haunting and hallowed, Jayhawks are telling the world what's near. Victory.
Welcome back, I'm Caleb.
And I'm Laura. This is your Monday Good Morning KU News Update. Both Israel and Hamas have turned over hostages as a part of a 4-day ceasefire in Gaza. As of last night, and according to the BBC, 54 hostages have been released and 117 prisoners have been freed. But nearly 15,000 people have been killed since October 7th.
In the U.S., protesters interrupted the traditional Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade in support of Palestinians across the globe. According to the USA Today, some protesters appeared to glue themselves to the pavement and then pour red liquid over themselves. Other protesters carried a banner that read, "Liberation for Palestine and Planet."
The ex-Minneapolis police officer who was convicted in the murder of George Floyd is in stable condition after being stabbed in prison on Friday. Derek Chauvin is serving multiple sentences and had recently been transferred to a prison in Arizona for his own safety. Chauvin was sentenced to 22 years for the murder and another 20 years for a civil rights violation.
The City of Lawrence and a group of city employees are closer to an agreement in regard to the compensation of employees in the cleanup of local homeless camps. The City Commission questioned how employees are trained and how the camp cleanup was similar or different to general cleaning in other city-owned public spaces. The Commission also agreed that city employees who worked in this area deserved additional compensation.
Despite the full capacity of campus housing, Lewis Hall will be closed next year for renovations. According to the UDK, the renovations will include bigger showers, new carpeting, and room for a small refrigerator. Mrs. E's will remain open, and the Rainbow community will move to Templin Hall.
Many of you might have had Dan McCarthy as your first academic advisor. McCarthy, who is now the Assistant Director of Jayhawk Academic Advising, was recently named the KU Employee of the Month. Congrats to Dan.
That's all for news. After the break, I'll be back with Lindsay for sports.
I think I'm gonna go soon.
Yeah, it's getting kind of late. We should go soon.
I'll order an Uber. I'll just drive us. I don't know, guys. Are you good to drive? Yeah, I'll get like 2 drinks. It's not that far. Okay.
Welcome back from the break. With the 49-16 victory over Cincinnati on Saturday, the football team finished the season with an overall 8-4 record and 5-4 in the Big 12. Quarterback Jason Bean returned and was responsible for 4 touchdowns against the Bearcats. Bean threw touchdown passes to Mason Fairchild and Jared Casey and ran for 2 scores on his own. Bean rushed for 90 yards, including touchdown runs of 43 and 50 yards. The bowl schedule will be released next Sunday.
The men's basketball team bounced back from their first loss of the season with a 69-60 victory over Tennessee in the third-place game of the Maui Invitational last week. After 4 easy wins to start the season, the Jayhawks could not keep up with Marquette in the final tournament semifinals, falling 73-59. KU is now 5-1 overall and will host Eastern Illinois tomorrow night in Allen Fieldhouse. Tip-off is at 7 p.m.
The women's team hung with 2 top-ranked teams at the Cayman Islands Classic, but eventually came away with 2 losses. The Jayhawks fell 59-58 to 9th-ranked Virginia Tech and then lost 71-63 to 6th-ranked Connecticut. KU is now 2-3 overall with a game against Southeastern Louisiana on Thursday in Allen Fieldhouse.
The volleyball team finished the regular season on a 5-match winning streak after a 4-set victory over UCF on Saturday. KU is 23-5 overall and will host the first 2 rounds of the NCAA tournament on Thursday and Friday.
Postseason awards continue to roll in for the soccer team and senior Shira Elenoff. She was selected to represent Israel in the UEFA Women's Nations League, which continues this week. Elenoff has recorded 11 caps playing for her national team.
That's it for sports. Dulce is not back from Thanksgiving break yet, so we do not have a weather update, but at least the snow is melting.
Thanks for watching, and be sure to watch Good Evening KU tomorrow at 6 p.m. Have a great day.